Gagron Fort is one of the 6 forts of Rajasthan included in the World Heritage List by UNESCO. This fort is unique in the sense that it is both a hill fort built on the Mukundara hills and also a water fort or Jaldurg, as it is engulfed by water on 3 sides. The fort has no separate foundation. The rocky part of the Mukundara hill acts as the foundation for the ramparts of the fort. The fort is built on this triangular area of land at the confluence of river Ahu with river Kali Sindh. There used to be a deep moat on the other side of the fort, which would make it engulfed in water on all sides like an island fort. There are 2 approaches to the fort. One entranceway is from the road and the other one opens towards the river. The main access to the fort is from the road on the northern side. The first gateway is the Suraj Pole. Beyond this, there is a stepwell and the temple of Madan Mohan. A right turn from the Suraj Pole will bring you to the ticketing counter near the Chudi Burj. There is another gateway here known as the Ganesh Pole. Beyond this is the Nagar Khana or the drum house where drums and other instruments would have been kept. The Gagron Fort has 2 fortification walls. The outer fortification wall loops into major rampart at the rear end of the fort, and the inner fortification wall is interspersed with circular enforcements and crowned with large crenellations. There are many bastions around the fort, such as the Lakshman Burj, Ram Burj, and Dwaj Burj. These would have provided great views of the nearby area and of any approaching enemy army. The Gagron Fort was built in the 12th century AD by King Jaldurg, a Doda Parmar Rajput. It was subsequently ruled by the Kichi Chauhans for around 300 years. One of the rulers of this Kichi Chauhan dynasty, Raja Pratap Singh, is said to have denounced all his wealth and become a Hindu mystic poet and saint of the Bhakti movement. He was also known as Saint Pipa or Bhagat Pipa. The last Kichi king to rule from Gagron Fort was Raja Achal Das. In 1423 AD, Hoshang Shah, the Sultan of Malwa, came with a huge force and laid a siege on this fort. In the ensuing battle, Achal Das was defeated. Many Rajput women committed Johar after this battle was lost. At a later date, Raja Palhan Dev or Palhan Singh Kichi, a successor of Raja Achal Das Kichi, is said to have conquered the Gagron Fort back from the Malwa Sultans. In 1444, when Palhan Singh Kichi was ruling, Muhammad Khilji I, the then Sultan of Malwa, besieged the Gagron Fort. Rana Kumbha had sent reinforcements under his commander Dahir, but Dahir died in the battle and Palhan was killed while fleeing from the Gagron Fort. The Sultans of Malwa then held the fort until Rana Sanga captured it from Sultan Muhammad Khalji II of Malwa in 1519 AD. In 1532 AD, Bahadur Shah, the Sultan of Gujarat, won the fort from Maharana Vikramaditya, the son of Rana Sanga. In 1561, the Mughal Emperor Akbar captured the fort. The Mughals had the fort for many years until 1715, when Aurangzeb gave it as a grant to Maharao Bhim Singh of Kota. Gagron remained with the Kota rulers till India's independence. The Jauhar Khund is a huge pit where fire was lit and the Rajput women performed Jauhar or self-immolation. The Badal Mahal is a huge palace complex. One of the sections of this palace has the Dwarakadish temple. Bhairav Pole is the gate leading to the Kinchi Darbar. These structures, such as the Sheesh Mahal and Zanana Mahal, belong to the 18th and 19th century and were built during the time of Zalim Singh Jhala, the administrator of Kota. This section of the fort has the Madhusudan temple, the armory, and the magazine. The old palace where the Kinchi kings used to live is now in ruins. This structure was used to harvest and store water during the rainy months. Apart from the water storage tank, there are many wells in the complex. This area has around 8 sweetwater wells. There is a mosque of Sufi Saint Mitesha just outside the fort. There is also a monastery of Saint Pipaji across the confluence of the two rivers. In one of the corners of the fort, there is a huge stepwell called Andheri Baudi.